Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about auto drawing and how it can boost your creativity. I'll start the video here where I'm auto drawing just so I don't bore you away when I'm talking. Now, what is auto drawing? Well, auto drawing is placing your pen on your paper without any means of direction or well, you haven't planned in any way what you're supposed to draw. You just start drawing something. As you can see here on this video, I just started with a blob and just continue adding to this. It can be done in many ways. I have some examples here of auto drawings. I was out and took some pictures from my sketchbook today. And this is a typical drawing who starts without direction. And in this case, I was using dots, just dotting with the pen randomly until I started to find a direction. And when you start finding a direction, then it will build on this. Just like a fire needs a spark to start, auto drawing enables you to do stuff that you might not think you could do. I think this turned out okay. It kind of looks like foliage on the ground, a larvae here, maybe a snail here. You have a leg from some kind of bug here. A little random, but that's the whole thing. It doesn't always turn out good. This one I quite enjoy. It kind of looks a little like a parrot, so I added legs to it. Now here I'm not squiggling or dotting. I'm using lines, and I do this a lot. You'll see this repeated. Here's dots again. This doesn't really resemble anything, but it is something anyway. This one is a little funny. It looks like a fish. For some reason, many of my drawings turns out to look like fishes or chickens, stuff like that. There's another fish, kind of. And this is just, I started with one line, I added a new line, and just started lining from lines to lines. I do have some go-to patterns which I do incorporate in between, which something like this. It's kind of a gray zone between doodling and auto drawing. You'll find that that you can work with patterns you enjoy and are used to using. This kind of looks like a swallow. A little funny. But not one of my... I'm not really showing any very good ones today. This one I do enjoy. It looks like a fish swimming towards you, right? I don't know if I can zoom in a little. See if we find the next one here. I have to zoom back again, I guess, before I can go. There we go. Now this is more... I don't know if I should call this auto drawing. Kind of use the Indian styles, you know, the zendakals and what are they called? All these Indian patterns where you draw flowers. But normally they're a lot more structured than this. And here I've added a lot of stuff next to them. Now this is a typical example of auto drawing, not... Well, I'm not gonna say it turned out good, but I enjoy it anyway. Um, Here I just started with basic shapes, just putting them randomly around, and suddenly I kind of saw something resembling a man. And now I think it resembles a man lifting a woman, kind of. She has her shoes up here in a weird way. Anyway, I enjoy that one. And it's important to notice that auto drawing is very therapeutic. You kind of let your mind go. It looks like a cat, a little funny. This is just bizarre, but also a lot of pattern repetitions there. Used a lot of pattern repetitions. This is nothing. I didn't really like that. This one I kind of enjoy. I can't really tell how this started, but it wasn't like this the whole time. The advantage of having a computer or a sketchbook is that you can go back and forth. I tend to get tired of drawing one drawing and I want to move on, and then I go back to the old, and then I move on, and then I go back and forth. But it somehow this resembled a seahorse, so I call it a seahorse instead. This is just me practicing some more Indian style things. It really isn't an auto drawing. This is more auto drawing where it's just total randomness, just putting in a whole lot of stuff. As you can see here, as I'm working in the video here, I started with something random. I copy paste, copy pasta, and it's starting to resemble something here. I never finished off this, so this is something I'm gonna come back to, maybe. There's a bizarre one, kind of resemble the chicken, so I put an egg in here and put on the feet there. Very weird one. But again, I enjoy stuff like that. This is just not good. I don't like this one too much either, but it's a good example of just drawing line on line on line, and until you see something and adding on it as you go. Now this one, on the other hand, I'm really proud of, because that came so easy. It came in 3 minutes, and I kind of got the duck face, I remember, and then I put the horns on it, and then suddenly it was the evil one. Oh, where I have to be all the way zoomed out until I can go previouser. Now this is a very typical auto drawing. Not happy with this either, but this is where you just simply just start squiggling your pen around until you get darker and lighter points, and then you start giving a little direction. It gets very messy, but sometimes this can turn out real good also. This is just from my latest sketchbook, so I have some other sketches too that are better on this kind of pattern, where you just squiggle away until you see something. This also I would call auto drawing. Some might call it a doodle or something, but it simply started, no direction, just pulling down a line. It's also halfway between doodle and auto drawing. I don't know if I really can explain the difference between them two. I guess when doodling you have a lot more go-to patterns, and it's a little more structured maybe. And sometimes you're Autodrawing can turn into a turd. So this became a turtle. Turtle. So this also is the same shapes as I was using for that man carrying the woman. I kind of have some rules also on this. I think I used like, try to use 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I think I have around 5 sides on each of the blobs. Some has 3 also. So you have to randomize. But it's always fun to see going through something. You don't know where it's going, what it's gonna be, and then suddenly something pops out that you can use. This is like the simplest design ever, but I mean, I just love this one. I really love that kind of style of drawing, and I'm very happy with that one because it's minimal, but it still shows in a basic way what it is, right? Took a couple of that. These fishes I also enjoy. It started with this big fish. I think I just drew this square. That's where I started, and then I added onto that, and suddenly it became a fish. And once I had that in, I could copy it, right? Redraw it in a different fashion, and then I ended with the small one there, looking straight in at you. Not a good drawing overall, but it's gives you an idea of what this is. There is something that never turned out to nothing, but I still enjoy the shape of it. So birds. Looks like some kind of colibri maybe. Or what it's called. This resembles a fish again. Back to my fishes and chickens. And this one is a little interesting because I really enjoy this. It started with these 2 squares. I remember that. I started with 2 squares there, and then I started adding rectangles. Rectangle on rectangle on rectangle. And I completed the man, and then I came back to it later and I drew in this panel and all that. But the fun thing with this one is I took this picture and I pulled it into Photoshop. And in Photoshop, I realigned it and created a animation out of it. So that's a very good example of how you can spark your creativity, right? By just starting with the rectangle. As you can see, I'm enjoying my little bug. I don't know if you can call it a bug, kind of a bug there. Was moving around. I don't know if I have more of that. By the way, if you're interested, this is the thing I'm doing here is called let's have a look. Tend to forget things. Puppet warp. Puppet warp. You go into edit in Photoshop, and in edit in Photoshop you have something called puppet warp. Let's see, just anything here. So you can see where to go in and do this. So I'll draw a squiggly line here. I can do something like this. Then you go into edit. Up here, let's see, edit. And then you scroll down to puppet warp. I can't do that here now for the simple reason I need to unlock the layer. That might be enough, yes. Now it's important to add anchor points when moving this. If I start moving here now, I'll just move the whole thing. But if I set the anchor point somewhere, now suddenly everything moves from that. And that's how you can kind of make animations in Photoshop. But that wasn't what we were doing. We were looking at auto drawing. Oh, yeah, this is the latest I was working on. And it kind of just turned to the third that needs to be polished. So I'll just show a little quick what I have. I saw some shapes in there. So just there, not new. Want to open. Where did I put it? In YouTube, I guess. Sketchbook. Let's see, where do we have that drawing? Open. Yeah. Let's quickly just work on that. Just wanted to show you a little. So as you can see, this is practically nothing, right? It looks absolutely like nothing. But some quick moves here. I always keep a sketchbook in my restroom. So every time I sit on a throne, I'm sitting doodling and auto drawing like this. And this is from that sketchbook. Nice way to get your time going. Now, if I do this, now I'm suddenly getting something here. See if we can change the layout on this a little. Pull in the whites a little there. The blacks a little. Oops, did something wrong. New layer. Select color range. Selecting the white areas here. I'm on point sample. I didn't want to be that. 5 by 5. I'll add some points there. Okay. Layer via copy. Control I invert. Say inverse. Of course, not on the right layer. Select inverse again. Layer via copy. Do I have it there? No. Not fun to struggle while you're trying to do a live video. what can you do, right? Layer via copy. It's there now. Okay, there we have it. Good. It's rough. I normally go over the lines. Try to add the adjustment layer on that to make it even sharper. Guess it's okay there. Okay. Let's see if we can have some fun with this. I think I'll isolate this out again. Now what I saw here first was this hen. And I thought, I like hands. I think I can use hands. Put the white layer on here. So you will see better what I'm doing. I just reinstalled Photoshop and it has messed up everything. Now where are you? Fill tool. Yeah, that's so annoying. I guess I can just select it. Yeah, I'll do that. Fill. Okay, fine. Since everything is shit right now, I'll just use a brush. That's okay. I don't mind. I'm a beginner Photoshopper, just so you know. Okay. Here we go. Actually, I'll drag you in here. That's better, gives me a different perspective, fast to work on. Now let's make this smaller. I really think this can turn into something. And I'll make a copy of that. Control J. Control T to transform, right click, and I want to flip this horizontal. Now, see, I think this can become kind of a creature. I want to merge these layers, Control E. Move tool. What on earth? Where's my selection tool? Move. There you go. Maybe clean it up quick a little. I'm not really gonna work on this now. I just wanted to show you kind of another example where you can find stuff in old work, old sketches. Use some time to watch what you have done early. Study your drawings a little. Well, I don't really like the middle here. I don't know. What is this? Something hanging out of his butt? Or... But I do like these hands. How about if I do this? And I go to the move tool again. Eraser, please. I'm a little stressed too now. Not really in the mood for drawing, I guess. I just wanted to throw out the video. I was filmed for making a video, not making a drawing. So I like those hands. I don't know why I like resembles a hand. So you can put a head in there. Rough sketching also is something important. So kind of guess the face would be zoom in a little. So maybe the nose here. Something like this. Evil eyes. Evil eyebrows. We want vampire teeth on them. Oh. One tooth on the bottom. Dark eyes. Ugh. What head is this? We put the helmet on him or something. Armor. Yeah, some kind of armor here. Little pointy thing on his helmet there. Maybe it's more lines. He probably has a beard. This is a weird guy. Let's see where this goes. Yeah, messy beard. Rough and dirty in his armor. Okay, I don't like this at all. But auto drawing is fun. It's very fun. Try to play around a little. This also helps boosting your creativity. And of course, you have to be in the mood a little also. But not necessarily totally in the mood. Like now, I wasn't in the mood at all. But still, I got some direction there. So if I had started the auto drawing from scratch maybe instead of going through an old drawing there, which I kind of had pushed away from my mind already. Apart from seeing that hand, that can help you a lot more. And you don't need fancy programs. You can use Paint. No problem drawing in Paint. You can go use any pen tool in here. And I can promise you, you'll enjoy a lot. You'll enjoy it a lot. This is kind of the latest I've been into, all this squiggly. I went from all these shapes to now suddenly this squiggly, this layered. And sometimes it resembles bones. Let's see if I do this. It's like knuckles. And I put some squigglies in between. As I said, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But even when it turns to a third, it can be polished. So don't be afraid of trying. This is also something I enjoy, just pulling lines out of one point. It's so effortless. You don't need to think at all. And suddenly here I have depth, right? When you get depth, you have perspective, and you start creating shapes. So that was all, guys. I hope maybe I inspired in something. My videos tend to go a little long now lately. Start talking too much. So I hope I didn't bore you too much. If you enjoy videos like this, please like it and subscribe. I appreciate any subscription. I'm trying to grow as a YouTuber, so have a good one, guys.